Hello, friends. This is Benjamin from English Classes Online. In today's video, we are going to look at how to identify the correct grammatical forms. And we are going to illustrate with questions from the Junior School Certificate Examination for 2019. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Make sure you click on the bell icon as well so that whenever a new video goes live on this channel, you will be notified instantly. Let's dive into the lesson right away. So we are going to answer questions from the Lagos State Basic Education Certificate Examination of 2019. This is also known as the Junior School Certificate Examination. The English Studies, Section B, which is the theory part, specifically grammar questions. Now, let's look at the instruction. Write and underline the correct verb in each of the following sentences. We are going to look at the various forms of the verb. In each case, we have two forms of the verb given, and then you have to you have to identify the correct grammatical form. And we are also going to look at the rules that determine the correct form to choose. The rules here are rules of concord that we shall be looking at. Let's begin with question number 1. One of the thieves have or has been arrested. So you need to understand what exactly is the correct form here when you say one of. Now, it is actually a grammatical rule of concord, all right, that is involved here. So whenever you have one of, all right, whenever you have one of course, when you are saying one of, you are referring to one out of a number of things. You know, there are many thieves here, but you are referring specifically to one of them. And so whenever you have one of, you are referring to one. And so this is a singular subject, which we call S1. And the rule of concord that applies here is that a singular subject requires a singular verb, all right? So here you have singular subject, you have singular verb. Now, the second rule, which is related to this, is that where you have a plural subject, then you have a plural verb, all right? So here we have a singular subject, so we are going to have a singular verb. Between have and has, have is the plural, which is V2, and has is the singular, which is V1. So since this is a singular verb, we ought to have a singular, since this is a singular subject, we ought to have a singular verb. So one of the thieves has been arrested, okay? So that is the correct form. Question number 2, neither my father nor I dash to blame. I'm to blame or is to blame. Now, again, you need to understand the rule of concord that applies here. Now, where you have this correlative neither or either, Then, of course, if you are referring to a singular, if it is a singular subject, once you have a singular subject that follows neither, then the verb should be singular. But where you have two, of course, you always have two when you have neither nor, of course. So in this case, it is what, is closer to the verb that determines whether the verb is singular or plural. So neither my father nor I is closer here. So I determines the verb, and you cannot say I is to blame. No, I am to blame. So the correct form is here. Neither my father nor I am to blame. This is what we call the rule of proximity. This is what we call the rule of proximity. Rule of proximity. Proximity means nearness, all right? And this rule of proximity states that where you have a correlative and you have two subjects joined by nor or or, then the one that is closer to the verb determines the form of the verb to be chosen. So that's the rule of proximity. Always remember that we are dealing with the rule of proximity whenever we are dealing with the correlative, neither. Okay? Now let's take the next question, question number 3. The parents with their children are or is here. Now, the point is that the rule here has to do with the actual subject. The actual subject is the first one here. Whenever you have a subject, you have two subjects joined with, with or together with or along with, all right? Then, of course, the first subject is the actual subject, and that determines the form of the verb. If this is singular, then the verb is going to be singular. If this is plural, the verb is going to be plural. And here we have a plural verb. The parents with their children are here because we have parents. Even if we have child here, the parents with their child are, because the meaning is this: the parents are here. By the way, their children are with them, or they are with their children, all right? The parents with their children. So with their children is something of afterthought. So whenever you have with, or along with, or together with, then this is what determines the choice of the form of the verb, and this is an afterthought. So if you remove this, then whatever form of the verb that should go with this is what you should choose. For example, if you remove this, then what you have is the parents are here. By the way, they are with their children. So this is the interpretation. So the parents with their children are here. Now let's look at the next one. My good friend and classmate have or has traveled. Now this is what we have here. My good friend and classmate. Now, this refers to one person. This person is my good friend, and he's also my classmate. How do we know? We know that because there is no modifier here. Now, if we have a modifier, then we should be referring to two persons, my good friend and my classmate. Now, if we have my classmate and we have my good friend, then we are referring to two persons. But here, my good friend and classmate refers to one person. And because this refers to one person, even though it looks like a plural subject, yet it is a singular subject because the actual meaning gives us one person. And that means we have to choose a singular verb. Don't forget that the rule stipulates that where you have a singular subject, you must have a singular verb. And here, my good friend and classmate is a singular subject, okay? Is a singular subject. And so this is the singular verb, okay? So actually, this is the correct form. Don't be confused with this. This is the underline, and this is the mark for good. So this is the correct option. Now, question number 5, either the teacher or the students dash there. Again, here you can see that again we are dealing with the rule of proximity, either the teacher or the students. And then the subject that is closer to the verb determines the form of the verb. And since the students is a plural subject, we are referring to two or more students. So the verb should be plural because this is V2, which is plural. I mean, this is S2, please. Well, let me erase this. Okay. This is S2. And so we also have to have V2 here, please. Again, let's erase this. This is verb. Sorry. Okay, so this is V2, and that is what agrees with this. Now, the rule of concord is the grammatical rule that, stipulates that two parts of a sentence must agree in terms of number, in terms of person, in terms of gender, and so on and so forth. And here we are dealing with the subject-verb concord, subject-verb agreement. The subject must agree with the verb in terms of number. Number here because we have plural subject, and we should have a plural verb. So the actual option is where. Either the teacher or the students were. Now, if we have students here and we have teacher here, then we should have was. But the students here is plural and where is plural. Question number 6. Kunle, Femi, and I. Again, when you have this, you have a plural subject. So it is S2 because you have various subjects joined by and that gives us a plural subject. That should take a plural verb. The plural verb here is where. No, because both are actually plural, but here, because we are not giving anything to indicate that it is the past, so we pick the present. Kunle, Femi, and I are to attend. So this is the plural verb that is present. So that's the correct option. Kunle, Femi, and I are to attend the program. There's nothing to suggest that the event is already past. So we ought to choose the present tense in this case. It's still a future program. Kunle, Femi, and I are to attend the program. All right, so this is the way it is. So let's go to the next, but not until we have undone this. Let me quickly erase. All right, let me quickly erase. Okay. So that is exactly what you ought to do. You have to examine the rules, the grammatical rules, and then you identify the correct grammatical form. Don't forget that we're dealing with how to identify the correct grammatical form. Now, question number 7, Channels Television in collaboration with multimedia. Again, you see, this is what we call accompaniment concord, accompaniment. Now, let me actually state the rule here. The rule we are dealing with here is the rule of accompaniment. In other words, something accompanies the other. If you accompany somewhere, you go with them, but you are not going in your full capacity. You are just keeping him company. So yes, of course, here, you know, multimedia is doing this. The actual people presenting the show are the Channels Television, but they are doing this in collaboration with multimedia. So here, what we have is Channels Television. Because Channels Television here, it refers to one subject, all right? Channels Television is actually singular subject, is S1. So we ought to have a singular verb, and presence is the S1. I mean the V1 here. Always take note of this rule that S1 requires V1. Okay, S1 requires V1, S2 requires V2. Always remember this when dealing with the rules of concord. Singular subject requires a singular verb. A plural subject requires a plural verb. So here we have a singular subject. It requires a singular verb. Channels Television, in collaboration with multimedia, presents. So if we remove this, what we have is Channels Television presents the show. Question number 8. It is high time we leave or left for the venue. Which one is the correct form? Again, the rule of concord, whenever you have it is high time, it is followed by a simple past form of the verb. It is high time, we left. All right, it is high time we left. So anytime you say it is time or it is high time, then what the verb form that follows is the past tense, simple past tense. So take note of this rule. It is high time we left for the venue. All right. Then question number 9, if I was or were you, which form is correct? It is if I were you. Of course, when you hear people speak and they use this kind of grammatical construction, once you have this kind of conditional clause, if I, then what follows is a plural simple past. If I were you, I would have done it. This is a conditional clause, and wherever you have if I, then were you, if I were you. This is a hypothetical situation. This kind of conditional clause expresses a hypothetical situation. It's not a real situation, it's a situation that is imagined. It's a hypothetical situation because I can never be you. So if I were you, I would have done it. It's an unreal situation, it is hypothetical, and it is impossible. All right? So if I were you, I would have done it. So I can never be you, so I never did it. All right? Question number 10. All the invited guests, but the special guest was or were at the party. Now, again, when you have all but, then the logical and the actual subject is this first one. Now, the simple interpretation is this. All the invited guests were at the party, all right? Except the special guest, all right? But here is, it's here is subtraction. It's an exception. Yeah, all the invited guests were at the party, but the special guest was not. So, but we are looking at those who were at the party, and those who were at the party were all the invited guests. So if we remove this, if we eliminate this, then the form of the verb that goes with this is what we choose. All the invited guests, but the special guests were at the party. All right, so that is exactly the way it goes. And so this is where we are going to draw the curtain on today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like the video and share it with your friends and relations. All right? Don't forget, we have been looking at how to identify the correct grammatical forms, and we looked at the Junior School Certificate Examination English past questions, specifically for 2019 Lagos State Basic Education Certificate Examination. And we were able to illustrate with the grammar questions for that exam year. And I hope you learned the various grammatical rules, the rules of concord, and the verb forms that should be chosen for each question. Now, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, this is the appropriate time for you to make sure you hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever I upload a new video on the channel, you'll be notified instantly. By the way, I upload videos on this channel, sometimes on daily basis, sometimes on weekly basis, but hardly a week passes without my uploading a video or videos. All right. So, and this is an educational channel where I teach the English language to English learners. All right. So if you are desirous of gaining proficiency in the use of English, this channel will be helpful to you. If you are pursuing an academic course of study and English is imperative, then this channel will be helpful to you. And in addition to that, I upload videos on content creation, on digital marketing, and on online business. So if you are interested in videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you also hit the notification bell. Now, in the description section, you will find a link to a free PDF ebook that gives you full explanation of the basic units of English grammar. So if you want to learn more about English grammar, aspects of English grammar, then you can click on that link and you'll be able to download the free PDF file for yourself. You will also find my ebook titled Good Success in English, a complete study package for effective English learning, and some other ebooks that will be helpful to you. If you are interested in any of them, simply click on the link and you'll be able to download a copy for yourself. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. I want to say a big thank you to all of you for being part of today's episode. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye for now and remain blessed. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video. Thank you and remain blessed.